I didn't put the applause on. They have tweaked the suspension. Tesla juice.
What else do we get? Ollie likes lady boys.
I love it. Hey,
I love it.
it's kind of soft, though, isn't it?
This is romantic.
I think so.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam, and in today's episode we've got a cool one because we've got the brand new Tesla Model Y. We're going to show you all the changes, what you're going to get in the new Tesla, and what we're going to do today, Ollie.
I'm super excited because I have the Model Y here. It is globally the best selling car ever. It's insane, and I'm going to give you 5 main reasons why everyone is buying the Tesla Model Y. On top of that, I'm going to give you a UK road test and be honest about my findings with the car. If that sounds good, keep watching. Just to let you guys know, we release an episode every single Friday. Next week, we check out the brand new 2025 VW Touareg, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode. Now, the Tesla Model Y might look like a bigger Model 3, but did you know it shares about 75% of its parts? It was also the first Tesla built using a massive single-piece rear casting, making production a lot faster and stronger. Plus, it's one of the few electric vehicles that comes standard with a heat pump, boosting its efficiency in cold weather. The Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car in the world in 2024, selling over 1.09 million units. The Toyota Corolla came in second place with over 1.08 million sales. Let's talk about what Model Ys are on offer from their website here in the UK at the moment. They've got rid of the standard range. You cannot get that now. The first cheap one you can get is this, the long range rear wheel drive, which can get 373 miles of range. So they've upgraded that. It's a little bit more money than what the standard range one was, which kind of makes sense because you're getting more miles of range now. And then at the moment, at the time of filming, I couldn't get the all-wheel drive long range model. It was greyed out. The only next one you could get was the performance one, and that's around 60k. And then I think they're obviously trying to push you to the launch edition, which is available, I think deliveries in May, March at the moment, and that's on the website too. Now, I charged it to 100% yesterday, and to see how many miles of range you've got, like at the moment I've got 77, I click on it and it shows me 249. Now yesterday I got 325, so it's pretty much 50 miles short of the said 373. But I think here in England, you're gonna get 300. And that's good because you won't do, most of us won't do more than 300 miles in a day. Let's talk about all the new changes you get with the brand new Model Y, codenamed Juniper. They've tweaked the suspension with a focus on smoothness and comfort because a lot of the feedback was that the original Model Y just wasn't comfy enough. In the old Model Y, it's very echoey because there's glass everywhere and it just bounces off and vibrates. Now in the new one, they've got thicker glass, better quality glass to help with the acoustics. They're going to add extra soundproofing material because apparently the old one you could hear a lot of road and wind noise. New design on the front seat, and they're going to include ventilation as well. A new upgraded infotainment screen, an 8-inch infotainment screen for your rear passengers. You're going to get ambient lighting as we've seen in the Model 3 Highland facelift. New steering wheel design, and they're going to remove the indicator like they saw in the Model 3 upgrade onto the stalk, just like it is on this one. The biggest change is the exterior. We're going to have 2 light bars. You're going to have a front light bar that runs all the way across the front of the car. You're also going to have a rear light bar, which I think looks pretty fancy. You're going to get more options with reclining your rear seat. You're going to get new storm wheels for better aero. And apparently it's going to have brand new software and more sensors. Let's talk about the reasons why this is the top selling car in the world. Number 1, incredible range and charging. Now, having this Model Y for over a week now and having to charge it, I don't have a wall box at home, but having to use the Tesla superchargers, it's incredibly easy. Everything's done with the app. You don't even need to get the app out. As soon as you charge it, the car reads it, communicates, you drive off, it tells you how much it's charged you there, and then whatever card you've got in your app, it charges that. And the range, it doesn't drop as low as other electric vehicles that I've been in, and that's what's really good because I've just given a Kia EV6 back and we used that for a day and I was losing miles. I didn't know what was going on. But the Model Y, all of them have heat pumps and it just warms up so quick, it's so efficient. And because of the range you get, you know, seeing it over 325 miles when I charged it up to 100%, straight away I was like, wow, that's brilliant. And some people actually say they don't have it showing them the miles, that it helps their range anxiety, just seeing the battery percentage. So just tapping it, you can go from the percentage to the miles. So that's another way, so you think about just using it as a mobile phone. Number 2, performance. In the Tesla Model Y, it is there. I've got it in standard mode at the moment. You've got a chill mode, which is a little bit more progressive, not as grab your head back into the seat. Now I've got it in standard mode, and as soon as I do anything to the accelerator, it's there. And that mid-range, it's never going to let you down. So when you need to make an overtake, or when you're coming up to a junction, the performance in the Tesla is just brilliant. It does 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds. This is the rear-wheel drive one. It does, obviously, if you get the performance one, it's 3.5 seconds, and that is really head snatchy. But I just think those that test drive the car are going to love the performance. It's there all the time. And the steering is really quick and responsive. Now with EVs, you don't get a ton of feedback anyway, but I am really impressed with the steering system on this Model Y. It is feeling a little bit big on these roads and weighty when you're just getting a little bit more pace to your driving. But I'm going to throw it into this corner. Oh, God, it moves about a bit. But, you know, you can have really good, fun, spirited drives after you drop the kids off, you jump in, and you just forget this is an SUV because it's addictive. In standard mode, you literally just ever so gently touch the accelerator and you are off. You know, and you've got to be careful because there's no DigiDash behind the wheel, so you have to train your eyes to look left, because here in the UK, you could be quickly over the speed limit if you're not paying attention. Number 3, spacious and practical. It's huge in here. Because it's so minimalistic, all you've got is that screen. There's nothing else to look at. You don't get distracted by anything. You've got great visibility. You do get used to the rear window because that is kind of small, but you do get used to that. But it is just so spacious because of the massive glass roof, loads of space in the front, leg room, and the boot, 854 litres, massive. And the front, 117 litres. There is no other car that can compete. Number 4, cutting edge tech. The tech in this car is why I love it so much. I'm a big kid. It's got all the games, the gadgets, but the infotainment is so responsive. The sat nav is great. Everything you expect it to do, it delivers, and then some. You know, you can change up the dynamics. You can change the autopilot control from 2 tugs to 1 tug. And you know, it sticks to the road, and it really is class leading. There's loads of smart cruise control systems out there, but the Tesla one is the best. And then, you know, you can change your weight in steering wheel. Yeah, you can do that in other cars as well. But literally, all of the infotainment, the Sentry mode, you can lock the car, it'll film people walking up to your car. The vision, this radar visual display here, it just works so well. It shows you traffic lights when they're red, when they're green, lorries, people. You know, it really does impress you, all the tech that you get in this car. Number 5, probably the biggest one, price. You can get this completely basic, in white, normal wheels, $46,990. But if you get it as a lease, you can get 10,000 miles per annum for £349 a month. That is ridiculous for how much car you are getting. You are going to need to put 4,000 or thereabouts up front, but after that, on a 3-year term, you have got a lot of car. Let's talk about charging with the Model Y. So you can get a max charge of 250 kilowatts. So from 10 to 80%, expect 27 minutes. If you find a fast charger at home on a wall box, 7 kilowatts will do it from 0 to 100 in 12 hours.
Okay, let's have a little look around the outside of the Model Y. We all know what it does look like. Very blue, there's not much to talk about. I think it's a little bland. What's your opinion?
It's very blob-like. I like the Model 3 Highland facelift because they changed the lights and made them a lot sharper.
I think the front is its worst angle, but you know, you could argue that it still looks fairly sleek. The shape of it's quite nice. These wheels,
they are standard.
Someone's scuffed them already.
These are the standard 19-inch. So if you spec up another wheel, it's 20-inch. I think you paid just over £1,000 from the website.
You've got some sensors here and in the door, going down the side of the car. These, I feel like you can sort of start to get scratches on the other side here, where you're trying to open this door, and it's a bit cumbersome.
But what I will say is, they do feel quite sturdy. Feel like properly you're not going to snap it in half.
Yeah, you're not going to tear it off.
But they are quite thin, and you do get used to it. Also, this colour, if you're wondering, is the deep metallic blue, which is a £1,300 option. If you get it in white, that's a zero cost option. You like this? This is your best angle, isn't it? You like a big rear.
I like a big rear. That's right.
Big
Look
rump.
at this rear. Looks quite nice. I think it's just very simple, very sleek. You've got a little bit of a plastic sort of back end there.
Diffuser, but
so
it's not
yeah,
too much.
small little lip here, which is quite nice, and this sunroof that goes all the way sort of over the car, which is quite nice as well. You also got some mud flaps here, which is quite nice if you are in a muddy terrain. As you can see, it's getting used quite well today. You have to let us know what you think about it in the comments down below. We do think, however, the new one, the Juniper, looks slightly better.
Now, I want to tell you about some of the things I've definitely noticed driving the Model Y for over a week now. Is I speak rather loud, and immediately I could hear the echo because you've got that massive glass roof and nothing else, no equipment for the noise vibrations to kind of go into and absorb. I can hear myself a lot, and I noticed that first. So if you're someone with a loud family, I guess, you're definitely going to realise that quite quickly. If you're a quiet person, you know, it's not going to bother you. When you are going in a little bit quicker, 70 mile an hour on the motorway, you do hear a bit of wind and road noise. But again, Tesla have taken that feedback in. I was chatting to a rep, he said around 80% of the feedback is people can hear it into the cabin, and also they have complained a little bit about the suspension. That's why the Juniper have got those big tweaks on suspension with a focus on smoothness and comfort. The other big thing I noticed is the bolsters aren't good enough in these seats. They throw you about. So sometimes I find myself gripping quite hard onto the wheel to try and keep myself, you know, in a good position, because they are quite slidey. So when you indicate in the Model Y, you get a little camera that comes up, which has a little box there. That's super handy, especially if you're someone that normally take out cyclists, because that's always good. Just last ditch, just when you indicate, to have a little look in there to see nothing's coming up. I want to talk to you now about regen. Now, there used to be a mode in the Model Y, they might have updated the software, where you could change the regen to low and high, but now they've got this stopping mode thing here, so you can change it when you've got the car in park to creep, roll and hold. So I've got it in hold at the moment, so when I lift off, it will completely stop the car, like one pedal driving, like we see with the Kia's iPedal, and that works really well. And I've got it on that just to kind of maximize and harness as much as I can back into the battery. Okay, let's do a launch. 5.7 seconds. Let's see what it feels like. Good grip. And that is 60. You know what, that's quick. That does feel quicker than 5.7 seconds. You don't need the performance model, because remember, if you get the performance model, you get 319 miles of range because it's all-wheel drive, so it's heavier. Whereas this 373, the stated, and it's still got that poke, and it's still got that great mid-range to make those overtakes. Let's talk about boot space then with the Model Y. It's absolutely massive. 854 litres of boot space, and you can actually knock those seats down and buy a Tesla airbed as well, because you can take this thing camping. It's got a camping mode. But look at this, I literally lift this up, look at the cavernous area. You've got your cables down there, you've got two massive holes either side, exactly what you need. 854 litres of boot space. Do you need any more? Let's talk about the front space with the Model Y then, because it's absolutely massive. I've got the app, I can get it open with a touch of a button, and literally 117 litres of front space. It's absolutely massive. In fact, it can, I mean, I can't lie down, but you could fit a small person in here, and you've got a towing eye as well, should you need it. 117 litres That's got to be enough for you.
Okay, so let's talk about the interior of this car, because there is a little bit to talk about. I mean, obviously the main point of this car, the main focus point, is this massive screen in the middle, and I feel like maybe it could be bigger. It hasn't got the tricks like some other manufacturers where it can twist around. BYD can do that, but the interior, you've got this wood here, which is okay. It's nothing too special. It feels fairly good quality. This is all quite rubbery,
soft,
plastic. It is soft. I wouldn't say it's overly premium though. This feels quite nice. The leather trim in the middle, and you've got 2 slots there for your phone as well.
Now let's talk about the charging quickly, because
Go on, Ed.
this is a bit of I looked at some Tesla forums, and you know what? I don't have to take the case off of my phone to charge it in any other wireless charger. But if I do it like this, it doesn't actually work. So a little trick for you is to hold your phone, if you've got one of the newer phones, upside down, then you put it in like that. All right, now it's charging. You can see it's started to charge now. So if you are struggling, little tip, just turn your phone upside down. A bit annoying, but it does help.
Let's have a look at this display then, because we all know the Tesla in the software is very good, and if you haven't seen one, you haven't been in a Tesla, this is what you get. So show them around a little bit, Ollie.
Okay, a little bit is sat nav here, a new feature that we probably could talk about. They've actually got weather now, so if you zoom out, you can actually see little bits of green. If you care about that, shows you don't go up north because it's raining, and then you can click through all these different things to help, and charge points. Supercharged network, as you know, brilliant. The main button you're going to be using, right, in your 15.4 inch screen is this one, the car. That is the one you need to go to, because when you bring it up, you got your controls, your fold mirrors, your steering. You click here, and then watch this. Moves the steering wheel like that, in and out. Literally all just done on the wheel. All the time it is recording. So if you press that, it will save it. So every 10 minutes, and that will go into your dash cam. So something you don't even have to think about buying a, third-party dash cam. So every 10 minutes it'll record and save it.
Save you a bit of money.
Yeah.
On buying a dash cam. That is good.
This is so Gen A, isn't it? Generation Alpha, like, oh, chill. So you can drive it on chill. The responsiveness of the accelerator is a little bit less, more progressive. Standard is where you're going to get it a little bit more sporty. And obviously if you've got the performance model, you'll have performance button. Steering weight, light, standard, heavy, you can choose. And then stopping mode, on hold is the best to maximize regeneration and harvest back into the battery. Then you've got your charging, and I did a 50% charge to 100. There you go, cost £16.55. All these other little bits, your Bluetooth, your trips. Now with your trips, quite interesting, if you want to work out your miles per kilowatt, okay, so if my finger's in my soles, so all you need to do is do 1,000 divided by 301, and that will work out what kilowatt miles you'll get in, miles per kilowatt hour. And that's how we do it here. You've got your cameras, pretty handy. They do help out. You press up and down if you want to just view them differently. And then your toy box. So you might have seen some of this before. You got your light show, your fart, where you can fart on demand. Kids love it. It's basically just a kid's toy. This one's a good one that I've been using, the boombox. When you drop your kids off at school, you can literally say you love me. Say I love you. All right. Or order me a McDonald's, and it shouts outside the car. You can also play music as well.
So there's a lot of options here that you can play with. Some entertainment options, which is really good. Quite unique to Tesla as well.
Sure, what else?
Other than that, you haven't got any other screens. So there's normally a screen here.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
have
annoying.
Tesla. You like that?
No. I see with the BYD you do. It makes me feel like I'm driving a toy car. It does make it feel a little bit cheap, just because I know other manufacturers have some really cool fancy, and they've sculpted it into the dash.
Yeah,
a nice digi-dash. I love a digi-dash.
It's very simple, isn't it?
Or even a heads up. Give me a heads up or something.
Just something.
Yeah.
Just something. Anyway, steering wheel. Let's have a look at that, because it is very plain, isn't it? Very plain Jane.
It's very plain. It is thick. It's got a nice girth to it. It's got a good horn.
Jesus. But leg room is really good. Just to give you an idea, I've got legs, and Ollie cannot stop playing with the
I'm such a big kid, because if you have kids as well, they're going to love you. They're going to forget that the outside looks like an absolute blob. They're going to be like, this is so cool. They're going to be using all the gadgets. Another good thing is, for £9.99, you can use the streaming services. So for example, you go into theatre and you've got your YouTube, your Netflix, your Twitch, and you can literally, only when the car's parked of course,
right,
you can watch. You can turn that infotainment screen into a theatre, and that's for £9.99 monthly.
In here you've got quite a big cavity. It is actually very large. You can get a decent amount in there, to be honest. It's quite deep.
Mate,
you get 2 fists in there, and it's got a little light as well.
You bet 3 fists in there.
3 fists, 2 cup holders that are medium size. They're not like, I feel like your cans might rattle around a little bit there. Also, there's another.
Look at that.
I know, there's another big cavity here for stuff,
Which
is good to see. So, plenty of space.
A little bit of a 12-volt thing.
These are the door handles. It's just a button, which I guess you get used to. Yeah.
Well, you've got 2 ways. You've got 2 ways to open the door, because this actually lifts up like a lever. So that, I love actually that they thought about that, because that'll cost more. Because if you just did that, it's okay, right? But they thought, we're going to give you an option, so we're going to give you a pull lever as well, which you can do.
Massive glass roof, which is really nice, to be fair. I feel like it could be a bit more see-through. You're right.
Yeah, but I've got allergies.
Yeah. Anyway, the roof is really nice. It's nice and big. I feel like it could be a bit more sort of see-through. It's quite dark.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all right.
One more thing, which is a bit of a deal breaker for some people, with the Teslas, you cannot have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can do it through a third-party app, and there's videos online which will show you how to do it. But I actually don't think you need Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, because everything works so well. You can Bluetooth your phone, you can have all your media playing, but the sat nav works great, and everything else is just so intuitive and responsive. I think you're going to forget about it. So don't worry if you're someone thinking, oh, I hasn't got CarPlay and Android Auto, oh, it's not for me. Honestly, give it a chance, because you soon forget about it. There's 2 things I want to show you which are quite cool. Sentry mode, which we've heard of before. So basically, when you park the car up and walk away and lock it, it will record any movement. So if anyone comes to your car or knocks it, it will record them with the cameras. And I think that's really cool in Sentry mode. And on top of that, you're going to love this, because me and you love animals.
Right.
Right? Dog mode. You got camp mode, dog mode. So now you can leave your dog. You can leave your dog in the car, right? Set the climate, and when you go away, it will say dog mode enabled, and then people know you're not cruel, and then they can keep warm if it's obviously cold.
And it has a message on there, doesn't it?
Exactly. There's so much. You forget that this is a car. This is a computer, and there's just so many cool different things you can do.
They've thought of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's mad how much a brand like Tesla can implement through just one screen. So that's been our chat on the interior. You'll have to let us know what your opinion is in the comments down below. Right, so we're going to test the Megabox, because Ollie's very fascinated by this. So basically, it plays a noise from over here. Do it.
Hello! Go and get me a Big Mac!
So this is a great feature if you want to make some unsuspecting passers-by jump out their skin, because you've got some sort of sounds that you can make throughout the car. It sort of comes out of this area down here, but yeah, it's all right. It's a bit of a novelty. Look at these trainers. I think you need some new trainers, Ollie.
Okay, I am on an extremely bumpy, gravelly road, so let's just test the suspension and see what it's like over these bumps. Not too bad so far. Not too bad. Pretty good. I mean, like, you feel them, but it's not too bad. Okay, oh, that's a bit. I felt that one a bit more, a bit harder. I find that the suspension is obviously a lot better when you're going on a smooth road, doing a bit. Oh, you can feel it when you do hit one. It does travel through the car a bit, but at this speed, it's not too bad. A bit of a deeper one, it can rattle the car around a little bit more, but overall, that was all right. Okay, I've got Adam in the back with me as a rear passenger. I want to find out from him, what's it like back there, Adam? Talk to me about comfort levels.
Okay, just to give you an idea of what it's like in the back of the Model Y, I feel like I sit slightly lower than the front benches. I'm not sure why. In a lot of other cars, you feel like a little bit higher. At the top, there's plenty of light being let in. It's quite nice to have a glass roof in front of you, because you get a good sort of sense of light and a bit more space. Out the window, you've got a nice sort of clear view of everything. It's quite a nice big window. In front of you though, these seats are quite big. They do sort of obscure your view quite a little bit, and you've got a tiny little pouch there. But yeah, I feel like the seats could do with a rework. In the middle there, you've got 2 USB-Cs, which is quite nice. A flat floor as well, so you get a bit more room for your legs. Leg room is, I would say, fairly limited. The front seats are just set to a normal passenger, but I'd say leg room could be a little bit bigger. Headroom though, you've got plenty of headroom, so if you're 6 foot or whatever, you're gonna have no problem at all. So yeah, that gives you an idea of what it's like in the back. Oh yeah, and the actual ride comfort itself, it does glide over those lumps and bumps, so the ride quality in the back is actually pretty good.
Let's test out the autopilot. I've got some good markings on the road here. I've got it set to 1 tug, pull it down once, and perfect on the stalk, and it's going. Blue lines, and this, as long as I've got my hands on the wheel, and you can feel it steer, it's so good. And I can literally change by this little scroller wheel as we go up into the next speed limit zone. Go on, there we go. We need to go close to 60 as we can. Speeding itself up. And then I can also use it clicking it left and right to shorten the distance of whatever car is in front of me. I've got up to 7 different distance settings. That is mad. And then if I want to get out of autopilot, all I've got to do is gently touch the brake and we're good. Let's talk about trips then. This is how much we've done since our last charge, 56 miles. It says average energy that we're using is 294 watt hours per mile. That translates to 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, which equates to, because this is a 75 kilowatt hour usable battery, around 255 miles, but I have been hooning it a bit and putting my foot down. However, I do think you'll be able to get that average up and get around 300 miles per day.
Okay, so that's been our episode on this Tesla Model Y, and we do like the car. It is good. I think the new one coming is going to be even better. So Ollie, what do you think? Would you have one of these cars?
I think I would have one of these cars. I love the inside, I love all that tech, but I want to know from you guys, are you going to join the masses and buy one of the Model Ys, keeping it at top spot of the best sold car in the world? Now, we've shown you the car today, all the cool features. I just think the exterior could do with a bit of work, but that's why we've got the Juniper coming. Let me know what you think about the Model Y in the comments down below. As always, throw us a like if you like the episode, get a sub to Car Chat TV, and we will see you on the next one. If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I've just popped up 2 more videos on your screen that you also may like. If you do watch one, let me know what you think.